Welcome back once again, Redblurr Gamers. Here we are. Sorry about the sound of my voice. I am slightly under the weather and not 100%. But you know how it is. Days off equals days to do some recording. Given that note, there is probably a little bit of stuff that's got to be done. I definitely need to get into these Kazakins some more and start working on them. So I guess we'll jump into it and make sure that our wet palette is still practically working the same. We all love a good wet palette. Wrong button. We're going to need to refill water tubs shortly, but let's have a look and see how we are going with these miniatures. And there we go. As we have a look, it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look like there's too many mistakes that have been made per se. Obviously we're going to do something here. We do have a black metallic that we'll use on this. Just having a look at some of these. Pull the light slightly towards us. So slightly so we can get a good clear look. Maybe just a little bit of brown that needs to be touched up on satchels, side pouches, things, what do you want to call them? Oh, terrible painting skills today. It's because I'm looking at this thing from what I feel like is way too far away from my actual body to sit the camera in a position where I am getting away from those weird angle lens videos and back to slightly some normality with the way the camera sits, but it's not really sitting in a position I'm happy with. So we're probably going to have to do something about it to try and figure out how I get it back in a spot where I'm getting coverage shots that I'm happy about, while also being able to have the camera sit in a space where I'm okay. I did manage to find some old digital cameras that I have laying around that maybe it's time that I switched over to one of those to film to make life a little easier for myself. But other than that, it's all pretty much, I think, straightforward. I just need to adjust where the camera sits, and it'll allow me to feel a little better. Anyway, on to what we're doing. So again, currently working on Kazakins, slowly but surely. This is something I'm going to probably take a fair chunk of time with. I guess I'm being a slight perfectionist to a degree with the way I'm painting these. Rather than the slap chop method I slightly use, basically predominantly use for everything else, that being my Dark Angels and my Tau. Get them done ASAP, super quick. I don't have to stress as much about having them ready to go for a tournament, which I have seen. There is a couple of the local ones which I will attend, again as per normal, coming up. So I'm going to have to actually put together 2 more units for my Tau, because obviously points costs and change of edition and things are better and whatnot. I have the models, which is a bonus. I just have to get them out and build them. So I'm going to build a Tau Enforcer Commander. He will have just straight flamers to go with the flame unit. My list will drop a set of crisis suits, I'll run the 4 teams instead of, technically I think I was running 5 maybe. I'll have to double check. I think I dropped Shadow Sun per se, and I need to put in, because there has been points drops quite drastically, I'm going to be able to whack in a second Piranha. The reason behind that is because of the new way that Battle Shock works, meaning that anything that, anytime you can Battle Shock someone, it is actually turning out really good for you. So on that note, I want to make sure that I am taking advantage of that ability to Battle Shock opponents and make their life a little difficult. Difficult is good in competitive Warhammer, because things that you can stop your opponent doing takes the pressure off you slightly, allowing you to focus a little easier on what isn't happening per se, and then be able to slowly but surely work your way into achieving those missions and goals you're trying to achieve. But yeah, so hopefully that will be the next few weeks. In the meantime, I'm continuously just painting my Kazakins on free time to try and get them done. I do need to get those units out and build them, those 2 tower units. I know I have seen the boxes for them recently as I was searching for something else, and went, oh that's right, I've got to get those down, so I should not have too much trouble finding them again to get them out, and that will be one of those things that happen soon. So it'll be the next couple of videos, I assume. After this one obviously goes out, there'll be possibly a slight break in the Let's Paint. Not really Let's Paint. I paint Imperial Guard to get those tower videos done, because again they are part of that 2,000 point competitive army. So I have a whole bunch of videos attached to that stuff, and that will be the plan, is to get them done, up and running, and then I've got a couple of months, I think. I have to double check. I might not have as long as I think I do to run practice games to get used to 11th before obviously the tournament is here. I feel like it's actually quite close, so I'm going to double check that. But yeah, we'll be able to get along and have some fun and talk some more trash about Tau, which we all know everyone loves to do. The old fish people, no one likes the old fish communists, especially not to play against them, because they're so very frustrating. I believe for me the best way that I will be able to play, for me to be able to play Tau, looking at the attachments, is a mixture of retaliation cadre and the new one that allows for, looks after auxiliary units, mainly because I run both Vespid and Kroot in my list, and they usually are pretty close to another lot of tower units, so that does make life a little easier per se, in terms of some things, you playing towards current army strength that you're already running. So that new detachment, I think, it will spend my 3 points wisely per se. Obviously the combo will cost the 3 detachment points in total, 2 for retaliation cadre and one for the new auxiliary detachment, which for right now the name of it has escaped me. Just try my best to tidy up the spots on this backpack where I can still see some undercoat. It was primed. Any little blemishes I made while I was painting the armor. I'm also just trying to touch those up. But yeah, what is everyone else playing? What are your thoughts so far on 11th? Are you having any luck? I do wish to get this. I'm going to need to be a little bit more proactive with my painting. I really do want to get these guys done to be able to then jump into the command squad and 2 Rogal Dawns. I do have a whole bunch of Space Marines I'm not using that I need to move on. I've got way too many Space Marines, so I'm going to need to move some stuff on the second-hand market to make some money back slightly, which probably won't happen because, you know, let's resell second-hand minis and see how we go.